Aloha and good morning. Welcome to a special morning edition. I haven't done a morning show in quite some time, but I recently broke down this movie right behind me, Leave the World Behind, on my Truth and Movie segment, and it's mind blowing to me. I see similar symbolism in the movies. Movies across, we've broken down over 100 now. And it's mind-blowing to me that so many people feel that there's something being said in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much symbolism. There's so many weird and mysterious things. There's lots of channels that are also breaking it down and pointing out weird things about it. And there's people that complain about the ending. That's okay. That's understandable. If you're just watching it for amusement, then I could see why the ending, is lackluster. However, I wanted to jump on to expound upon some stuff that I missed in my breakdown, and some stuff that many of you in the chat that I have pulled up in front of me today, many of you have brought to my attention about the movie, and some new things too. We're going to check out that weird website. Okay, I wasn't sure if I wanted to share it or not, but I've spent a few days thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, I've got to share this website. And speaking of sharing that website, I am going to bring up some pictures because I'm actually going to share the desktop version as well as the phone version. I took a lot of screenshots here, so let me get these screenshots pulled up real quick, and we're going to check out this mysterious website from the production company made by Sam Esmail. And if you want to follow along, I'll give you the website and stuff too. Feel free to plug it in the chat if anyone wants to know what website we're on or whatever. All right, sweet. So I'm going to get these pulled up real quick. It's the only thing I forgot to prep. All right, cool. So I'm not sure if you guys can see it yet. And if there's any issues with volume, do let me know. Please and thank you. All right, boom. Let's see. 1 second. Sorry. I haven't done a morning show in a long time. Let's see. I'm going to do screen capture. Yes. All right, cool. It'll be worth it. I'm going to share a lot of pictures. I've got over 100 pictures of this website. And we'll go ahead and do a new one. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and thanks for joining us. Appreciate everyone being here. All right, let's see. I believe you should be able to see this up on your screen now. Let me just make sure here. All right, boom. It is up on the screen, totally covering everything. Can I scooch it? All right, yes, I can scooch it. All right, cool. Well, I'll bring that up here in just a bit. We're not going to jump into this particular part. First, we're going to talk about the movie. Also, I want to talk about the movie with everyone in the chat. So if you have any questions about the movie, about my, what do you think, what do I think things meant in the movie and stuff like that, or if you have any comments, feel free to get my attention, and I'll put your comment up on the screen for everyone to see here. All right, I'm gonna scooch this over we'll leave it about right there, I suppose, and then I'll go ahead and disappear that one. There we go. All right, cool. All right, sweet. So, let's see. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thank you all for saying hello and being a part of today's show. Let's jump right into the presentation. So, Leave the World Behind. The movie is all about the apocalypse, and I'm going to be blunt with you. Sorry it took me so long to start. I'm going to be direct, okay? This is not a movie for entertainment, okay? All the best truths are told in entertainment fashion, okay? Parables and metaphors and whatnot. But this is, what do they call it? Whenever they hide the truth in plain sight, you know what I mean? Whenever they declare these things, they're letting you know. Okay, the ex-president Barack Obama, he was the right-hand man, and he was there all the time. I heard that he put a lot of money into the movie. Someone told me 25 million. I haven't checked that number, but basically he was there to correct them and to give them suggestions about what the apocalypse would really look like. This is the person that has access to all of the top secret files and whatnot, right? So if anyone knows about an apocalyptic event, you would think that the president, to some degree, would have some sort of inside scoop compared to your average person. Let's see. Yes, right on. All right, cool. All right, so anyways, this is the movie that we're talking about, Leave the World Behind. It's about the apocalypse. It's showing you elements of the apocalypse. Many of these apocalypse movies, right? I mean, I know it's, to some people might be obvious that it's about the apocalypse. And some people can acknowledge, yes, it's a movie about the apocalypse, but it's not just a movie about the apocalypse. It's showing you the apocalypse. See, some people can't differentiate that there's a movie about the apocalypse and there really is an apocalypse, and the movie is talking about the apocalypse. You know what I mean? It's showing you, and this is what they oftentimes do. All of these different apocalyptic style movies, they show you aspects of the apocalypse. You know what I mean? They show you the apocalypse from the perspective, from certain points of in time, basically. All right, so Leave the World Behind. The first thing I wanted to bring this back up. So I talked about this in the breakdown, how they flashed this on the screen whenever they had the power outage and whatnot. So they had these power outages and stuff, and this flashes on the screen. It's kind of scrambly, and you're meant to look at it and to wonder at it. It's supposed to be a puzzle and a riddle. And it says, breaking news, cyber attack across the country, etc. So that's supposed to put it into your mind. Oh, yeah, that's a cyber attack. That's what's going on. Well, that's a possibility, right? They're showing you all these different regions and areas that are affected by this quote-unquote cyber attack. But another possibility is that it was put on the TV for the characters to make them think it was a cyber attack, to make them think and to cause confusion. This was a part of my theory about the movie, was that as they were going through this apocalypse, at the exact same time, machines and electronics became sentient, that they basically became self-aware, and that they are behind all of the stuff that you see as far as the mechanical and electrical things that they're showing to people, like propaganda. It's AI propaganda. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the movie. To me, that's what I'm getting at, right? It is both a natural apocalyptic event, but also, in my theory that I talk about with the plasma apocalypse, that coincides with a robot uprising or an AI uprising, or AI gains sentience and is seen as trying to destroy man. It also coincides with many of the descriptions of the end times or Revelation or whatever, is that there's a huge war and everybody's involved. So if everybody's involved, AI is going to be involved, machines are involved, zombies are involved, people are involved, otherworldly monsters are involved. It's the Great War. You know what I mean? Where everything mixes together. Let's see, we got USMC Mike in the chat who says, JayDreamerZ, if the internet goes out, this will force people to actually communicate physically with each other. Most people lost their social skills due to the internet. It will be bad. I believe the internet is going to go out. It's inevitable in my book. And whenever that happens, okay, like I don't even know if people will have time. It depends on what else is going on at the time too. But you're right. People are dependent upon the internet, and they're dependent upon their, technology and whatnot. I'm just scooching the comment down behind me. All right, cool. So now, did you notice that there's a QR code right here on this map? So hidden within the movie is a QR code right in West Virginia. West Virginia has come up a couple times in my life, and I think it's interesting that they chose to put this little QR code right next to me here in Virginia, or West Virginia. So there's a few websites that have reconstructed. It's kind of blurry, you know what I mean? But it's clearly a QR code. Like if you take a look at it, let me see if I can zoom in here. You see that? They stuck a QR code right in the middle there. Now, would humans do that? If it was the end of the world, let's just say that the movie's correct, and that truly is a genuine news, being put out by humans, like, hey, there's cyber attacks or whatever. Why would a human on the news slip this in there unless there's something else going on. If it was robots doing it, if it was artificial intelligence, then it makes sense to me that, you know, they would hide things like that in there. But I did go to this one. Somebody put it up on Twitter and they made it black and white. So if you want to actually take a screenshot right now of this black and white one, you should be able to scan that. And I'm going to take you to it where it goes right now. So if you scan that, it takes you to Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park. Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park. And I believe this is in West Virginia as well. So isn't this interesting that this would even be in the movie? You know what I mean? Like, what would be the purpose behind that? I'm wondering what you guys think about that. Debbie Wilson's in the chat saying, JayDreamerZ, your opinion, how much time until this is implemented? I'm not sure what you mean by this. Could you be more specific, please? How much time until what is implemented? All right, and jumping back over here. Now let's talk about these paintings real quick. I don't know about this amusement park thing. It's kind of weird that they put that in there. There's some symbolism going on with like the Ferris wheel, etc., and the stuff that we see here. It's also a known ghost place. It's an active place for ghosts, and ghost hunters apparently go there all the time because they get high readings and, you know, they see ghosts down there and stuff like that. So that's interesting too. There's a correlation with the ghost apocalypse, which is all a part of the plasma apocalypse. There's zombies that will rise. There's ghosts that will make themselves, you know, known to everybody all over the place. There's world war. It's pretty much every apocalyptic scenario kind of rolled into one. All right, so let's check out these pictures too. And I was waiting to hear back from somebody in the chat. Let's see, who is that? Let's see. Debbie. Let me see if Debbie responded here. Nope, I don't have it. All right. So in these pictures in the background, this came from my chat. Afterwards, I went back and watched my chat, and people were saying, "Hey, this painting looks eerily like whenever people chart out the Schumann resonance." The Schumann resonance is also known as like the heartbeat of the earth, the frequency that's being put out of the earth. I believe it comes from within the earth, not from lightning strikes, as modern academics would tell you. But it's like the heartbeat of the earth. Now, at the beginning of the movie, let's say this is like a heartbeat. It's steady. You know what I mean? It's going strong. The woman is happy. Everyone's feeling pleasant and good, right? That's because whenever you have a strong pulse and things are quote unquote normal in the world, then people tend to be happy, right? But then that changing becomes more erratic over time. And here's an example that I put up. So this is the Schumann resonance. And this is actually taken from this year. I did turn it sideways so that it matches the painting so you can get a better portrayal, but typically this is actually horizontal. And it says, painting compared to a minor flux in the Schumann resonance, and it's turned sideways there too. And then the next one you can see, this is actually another one, the Schumann resonance. These are both from this year. So these little pictures down here, these are images taken of the Schumann resonance. This year, it changed. Let's see, do I have, yes. So June 17th of this year, this is what it looked like. The very next day, on June 18th, creeping up on the summer solstice, it just went into static mode. It just went into crazy flux. When I talk about the world and the energy going into flux, I'm talking about stuff that looks like this, except it's, you know, whenever the apocalypse happens, this will go nuts. But these are the fluctuations. These are frequencies that the world puts out. And I was just recently watching The Cell last night with John Cusack. We also broke that one down. That's the movie whenever everyone's telephones ring and anyone that answers the phone they listen to this frequency or signal. There's also a movie called Signal, along the same lines of everyone being plasma possessed. They hear this frequency, they tune in, and they become murderous killers. Now, their experience within their own mind is not that they're murderous killers or they're psychotic or anything. To them, everyone else is just going crazy and they're just trying to like defend themselves and, you know what I mean, take action or whatever, but it's a world full of crazy people. So here's the Schumann resonance over here. It's going into crazy fluctuations lately. It's been increasing a lot. This is the pulse of the world. So a lot of people ask me about the signs. Almost every time people ask me, you know, when is the apocalypse going to happen? The day after tomorrow. Like, that's the answer. Okay. So the apocalypse, if you're not preparing for the apocalypse, what does it matter what day it's arriving? You know what I mean? Like if you're not preparing anyway, like if I told you the apocalypse was happening tomorrow, and let's say that I earned your trust and you believed me, would you go prepare today? Would you be ready? Would you get out there and get supplies and work on yourself and change your ways and stuff like that? You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like to talk about when it's going to be, because honestly, I don't know when, and I don't believe anybody that says that they know when. I look for the signs, and this is a huge sign, okay? The earth is going to give birth, and these are your little birth pangs in that. All right, thank you, Sage, for getting my attention and letting everyone else know how to get my attention. Debbie Wilson says, oh, thank you, Debbie, says, how long until the internet shutdown and grid failure, in my opinion? I don't know. I have no idea. Just wondering what your opinion is on the time frame. I have no idea when that would be. Like, I wonder like what makes you think that I would have a timeline? I'm not really a timeline numbers kind of person. I don't like all that. Thank you for asking, Debbie, but if I don't mention it, I don't have anything on it. I don't have timelines. I'm not going to guess, you know what I mean, when the grid is going to fail. It doesn't matter. It does not matter when it's going to fail. If you believe it is going to fail, be prepared for it to fail. Now, right now, be prepared. Get ready. You know what I mean? Start studying and start getting into things. When does not matter. If you know it's going to happen and you're reading the signs and you feel it's going to happen soon, the real question is like, how are you going to start preparing for that? You know what I mean? I'm not picking on Debbie or anything. I'm just letting you all know that's my strong opinion. I don't care. I don't get focused and hung up on when these things are going to happen. That's what the disciples asked Jesus. I figured that Jesus probably didn't enjoy that question too much either. And he never told them when. You know what I mean? So I'm following suit. Like, all right, anyways, so here's the Schumann resonance. We talked about the picture, how it went into flux. And when it went into flux, everyone became agitated. They became concerned. They became worried and full of fear, and their frequencies changed. They became sick and nauseous, and things started to change as the frequency changed. And on my other video, we talked about how an electromagnetic pulse can actually affect all of those types of things in people. Now, somebody on TikTok recorded this and put it into a computer program in order to generate sound, because it's a frequency, so it can make sound. So we can replicate this. I have it on my computer as well, so I'm actually not going to share that one right now. But I'll put this picture back up here. What I'm about to I'm going to play the sound for you. So anyone that's paranoid to a certain extent, don't listen to this part. Okay, I would understand if you don't want to listen. I have already listened to it. Oh, snap! Hold on, let me fix that real quick. There we go. Welcome. Now I've already listened to it. I feel it's okay for me to listen to it, basically. But if you don't want to listen to this sound I'm about to play of this day's Schumann resonance, don't listen. I'm going to speed it up as well. So I have sped this up because it's very slow. All right, I've sped this up to 3.5 times. So this is what it sounds like. Do you hear that? Sorry, I'm a little under the weather today. So, you hear that? Here's what I'll do. I'll play it one more time at this speed, which is 3.5 times, and then I'll speed it up to twice as much so you can hear what that would be like, and then I'll play it regular. Now, many people who have listened to this have left comments on my other video saying that they hear a voice, that it sounds like there's like a voice in the background almost. So let me go ahead and speed this up. We'll speed it up a bit. The reason I like to speed it up and slow it down is because frequencies, they sound different. Debbie, hey, thank you, Debbie. Super appreciate it. Frequencies sound different if they're larger or if they're smaller, right? So for example, if I have like a little plasma ball and I touch it, it emits a sound, it emits a frequency, but it's very high pitched because it's so small. If I had a plasma volcano, which acts in similar fashion to this little plasma ball, it's also going to make a sound like the singing sword, but it's going to be much deeper, and there's going to be more bass, and it's not going to be so high pitched and things like that. So things on the worldwide scale, or the cosmic scale, or however you want to see it, they wouldn't sound so high-pitched like electricity in its small form does. How we're used to interacting with those things, like electricity. When it's tiny, we hear like high-pitched buzzing and stuff like that. But when you blow it up and you make it bigger and you slow it, and it will slow down naturally when it's bigger. But anyways, let me go ahead. I sped this up 10 times. So here's what it sounds like 10 times. That was it, okay? Now I'll do regular. It's about maybe 30 seconds long. Let's go ahead and put it right back to regular, and I'll show you what it sounds like regular, and that's just the one behind me, okay? Sounds like slow motion. This is all going through the air at times, and this is one example of what it sounds like. It's kind of scary, huh? That's kind of creepy at the very least. That's how it affects my feelings. That's another thing too. Frequency, vibration, does directly affect people's emotions. It affects everything. It goes, especially, it depends on what kind it is, but there are many frequencies and vibrations that can just go right through you. Some barely go through you, and they interact with you on different levels, spiritually, energetically, physically, right? Some will interact with various body parts, specific body parts that they resonate with or whatever. So anyways, that's what it sounds like. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. But that is the voice of the world. And the voice of the world occasionally is screaming during these birth pangs. All right, so that was very interesting. Thank you so much to the chat, for everyone, for bringing that to my attention. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, next up, let's see. Oh, Dragonfly ordered my book today. That's cool. Good, excellent. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Or I hope you find value in it. Let's see. Oh, can I reverse the sound? Yeah, I can. Let's try that. So Hippie Wizard wants to know if I can reverse the sound. I can totally. That's within my means. So let's reverse the sound. It does kind of sound like a record playing backwards, doesn't it? So I wonder what happens if we play it backwards. All right, this is it reversed at regular. Well, that's regular speed's kind of long. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So we're going to reverse it, and I'm going to speed it back up to like 3.5 times. All right, here we go. I don't know. It sounds very similar to me, but that was it reversed right there. All right, cool. Let me go ahead. I'm going to mute the computer now, so hopefully everyone can still hear me. And we're going to move on a bit. Oh yeah, the Bush, Voice, and iPet Goat too. Yeah, so that was it played backwards right there. I'm just checking the chat here as well as we go. You guys have a lot of really good clues and breadcrumbs about this movie. Wow, there's a lot of people watching. Welcome to my channel, everyone. Jay is always on another level. I appreciate you. Caketown says it sounds like stretching time, event horizon type stuff. Interesting. All right, let's check out some of the rest of this stuff, right? So we talked about this wallpaper, right? So at the beginning, this was how high the ocean level was in the wallpaper. Now we talked about the ocean levels rising and stuff, but this is way too much, okay? If you look at the rest of it, I'm gonna have to move it here. All right, cool. So if you look at the rest of it, this is at the end of the movie, this is how high the water is. You can't even see the sky, okay? So here's the bed right back here. You know what I mean? Oh, you guys can't see my mouse. Here's the bed right back here. And here's what it was like at the beginning. There's the water level, and then it goes up even higher to right about there. And then at the end, you can't even see the sky. Okay, so I thought of another thing too, which is I believe that the world's oceans are going to get sucked up and out of our world during the next depressurization event of the atmosphere. So that's another thing that this could be pointing to. Just like the waters parted, they rose and parted during Moses crossing the Red Sea. There was a Moses reference in the movie as well. This could be a reference to the waters lifting up during the depressurization. And they mentioned pressure. Somebody mentioned that they had a bunch of barometers all throughout the movie too, which I missed. And barometers are those devices that measure pressure. All right, cool. You ready to get into some juicy stuff? That's not even the juicy stuff. So the water level's rising. We also talked about how the water level can rise. You don't have to introduce more water to make the water level rise. All you have to do is heat up the water, right? And somebody did mention too that the water levels, that the water is heating up from the bottom. I believe it's heating up from the bottom and the top. The sun is warming it up on the top as the sun is becoming more focused and changing its color spectrum into a hotter spectrum, which is heating up the surface. But there's also pressure being released inside of the earth, and it's releasing gases that are probably warmed up, and the gases pass through the waters at the bottom too. So it warms it up all throughout. So the whole ocean's getting a lot warmer. All right, cool. So let's check out some more crazy stuff. So we talked about the painting, and it's eerie similarity to the Schumann resonance. Incomparable. Thank you. High five. Thanks for the $5. We talked about how the painting gets erratic and seems to go out of control, and we compared that to this. Let's see. We talked about how the Schumann resonance can and is known for just freaking out. This happened earlier this year, right? So this one was June 17th, and the very next day, June 18th, flipped out. And I'm confident many of you sense this. You might not even know what it is. You might not even know what it is you're sensing or why you're feeling a certain way. Oftentimes it's agitation. Oftentimes it's restlessness. It's anxiety. Worry, fear, things of that nature. And you have no idea where it's coming from. And I know there's many people that, they would say that there's a unmarked government van right across the street pointing some sort of satellite gun your way or whatever. Yes, while that may be a possibility, like I said, I like to go to nature first and see what nature is capable of before, giving credit to humans. Cake Town just gave me $20. Thank you. And says, you guys are my best friends. Cake Town's awesome. She's been leaving a lot of cool stuff on the community section lately. All right, now let's jump into the website, shall we? So there's three main movie production companies that brought you this movie. All right, there's Michelle and Obama's, right? We covered that one. Very boring website. They have a terribly boring website. As I find, many websites are boring. That's all my personal opinion. I have my own website, which is extremely fun and interesting and captivating. So that's kind of stuff I like. I checked out the other production company. Very basic, half-broken website. Doesn't really work. It's just a production company. Who cares? No regular people are excited to go check out a production company's website, right? But while I was doing my research, this one, S-Mail, which was the main production company and the main producer who was working on this. I checked this out. I almost did not click on this because I figured it's probably bland and dumb and boring like the other ones are. Cake Town with the 20. Thank you so much. Reaching up for the plasma. Grabbing the blue beam. I like that. Now, I got to this one, and as you can see, I was reading. It's like, hello, you found the internet website, S-Mail, small production company based in our real, non-digital, definitely unsimulated world. And that's whenever I went, I'm like, I'm about to click on this. So I clicked on it. Let's check it out. I'm about to show you. I'll preface this by saying that I was hesitant to share this, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's okay, legally or whatever, because it's a public website. So I'm definitely able to share this with you and show it to you and stuff like that. So first we're going to do the desktop version. This is the most enigmatic, weird website that I've come across in quite some time, coming from a movie production company. You know what I mean? And it's you'll see. Let me just show you. Okay, so I'm going to disappear myself real quick and allow you guys to see the entire screen here. And then you'll just hear my voice and see the mouse moving as I take you on a journey. Boom. All right, cool. I am gone. And let's check it out. So this is the first scene that you will see when you're on the desktop version. One moment. All right, boom, I'm just fixing it up here so you can see all of it. This is the first thing that you'll see. This is the only thing, actually, you'll see. Oh, and then let me give you the website, so if you want to follow along, it's esmail, M-A-I-L, corp, C-O-R-P.com. And if somebody can type that into the chat, I would appreciate it. That way you guys can follow along if you'd like to. If you have a cell phone and you're following along, it will look different. So if you have a cell phone, wait a minute, because I'm going to cover the cell phone website after we cover the desktop website. They're two totally different ones. The cell phone website takes place inside of this building right here. You see this? There's a little entryway. This is Esmail Core. As you can see off the bat, we've got some weird symbolic images. It looks like there's, you know how like some corporations put big stone blocks out front for decoration or something? Well, these kind of resemble that, but they're pills. They're in the shape of pills. This one has an E on the left. Now, let me jump back in here real quick. Hold on. Let me jump back in here because I want to address everyone. I have not broken all of this down. I don't have answers for what it all means. You're going to see that a lot of it correlates with what I talk about and teach about esoteric symbolism and the occult and stuff here on my channel. But much of this, I need help. I need your help to help me figure out what much of this means. There's weird codes and passwords and all kinds of crazy mixed up, stuff like that. You'll see. So I'm going to ask you guys what you think. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of medicine. Now, this is a movie company, just so you know. Okay? They have nothing to do with pharmaceuticals or medicines or anything like that. But you're going to see this theme of medicines all throughout their little website here. And here's the beginning. There's only two things you can click on. This pelican, or crane, or whatever that is. And when you click on him, he says, "Welcome to Esmail Core. My system indicates that you have a meeting with Sam on Friday, December 15th, 2023. Oh, that's today. Well, fudge. Hurry up. Or let's just say he doesn't like it when people are late. Oh, and keep your eyes open. So now they're telling you from the very beginning, look out for stuff on this website, right? Now, the only other thing that is making itself apparent that you can click on is this little army soldier who's guarding the door, okay? You click on him, and I'll show you what he says here. It's hard to read because the tree's blocking it off, which is also weird because the first time I was here, the tree was not blocking it off. But it says, "This is a restricted area, sir. No one is authorized to enter the premises without a mobile phone." So this is the area that you will see if you check your phone and you go to the website on your phone. You won't see any of this outside of the building stuff. You'll be taken inside of this building. But after searching around, after looking around, you can see that, let's break down some of the symbolism. We've got the 4 pillars, the 4 columns, right, that are said to be the 4 living creatures that grow and surround Mount Meru, or the throne of God, etc., right? We've got some symbolism in the building itself, having like a cross and a double cross imagery up at the top there. These ones are growing right out of the ground, right, which suggests post-apocalyptic, because people don't just let palm trees grow up out of their sidewalks and stuff like that, right? You've got a lot of military people and a lot of doctors and stuff like that, right? The military actually seem to be pointing their guns at the doctors, as you can see here, like they're forcing them to do things. And you have the doctor association with the medicine and stuff too, right? Let me jump back in the chat, see what you guys think about this so far. We got Hippie Wizard who says, if you click the elevator number in an order, you open up more floors. I found a floor with chickens pecking at tiny humans. Yes. We'll come back to the mobile version in just a bit, but you can basically take the elevator by scrolling up or down, and you can also click on the buttons on the right. I'll show you guys that when we do that part. The capsule is penicillin. Oh, E is penicillin, really? And V is potassium? That's interesting. I don't know much about the medicines and pills and stuff, but if that is penicillin, that's actually quite interesting. That's one of the ones that the movies indicate that you should be looking for, or stocking up on, or whatever, for the post-apocalypse, because it's very helpful. All right. let's jump back into this website. Now, I couldn't figure out where else to do, what else to click on. And honestly, I forgot what I did, but I think I was trying to make the screen bigger, and it actually scrolled me up. And I was like, oh, I can scroll up. Well, let's go up, shall we? So now we're going to ascend. Now this website, there's nothing else. There's no other pages. There's no menu or nothing. You know what I mean? It's just this weird picture. But once you figure out that you can scroll up, you'll start seeing more interesting things like this giant mosquito right here. Let's take a look at this mosquito and see what he says. All right, I'll read this to you. It says, what's up, man? Wow, the view. I flew up pretty high, didn't I? Listen, don't tell anyone I'm here, okay? Mosquitoes are never supposed to be up this high. We usually just stay down at ground level and take what we can get. By the way, do you have any blood? I could use a refill. I mean, I know you have blood, but I had to ask because it's polite. You see, I'm a polite mosquito. I don't just go in for the kill. He goes on to say, what's that? You're meeting Sam? And you're late? Oh my God. You better get moving. If you encounter anyone else on your way, don't tell them that I'm here. Do you promise? If they find out that I'm up here, I'm really going to be dead. But whatever my life expectancy is only 15 minutes anyway, and I've just surpassed that. So yahoo! So here's some interesting stuff, right? Have you guys seen those videos? This is what came to my mind. Have you seen the videos where the planes or helicopters or whatever they are look like they're dumping mosquitoes onto like populated areas? Interesting. And then we've got a mosquito. Like what correlation can you make between mosquitoes and the medical industry? You know what I mean? And maybe the military. Could there be a connection between mosquitoes, the medical industry, or the drug industry, and the military, as we see here all throughout, right? Now they put a big old brain up in the clouds with a rainbow coming off of it, and I don't know, I forgot what this animal is. Do you guys know what that is? Somebody probably already said it. I keep wanting to say narwhal, but I know that's not a narwhal, because narwhals have like a unicorn horn. Anyways, so they got this military guy hanging off of this little cup of medicine that people normally take at, like, you know, crazy houses and retirement homes and stuff like that. And then we have an eyeball. So he's holding on to this eyeball. So we've got brains in the sky and eyeballs in the sky. This one, you can actually click on it. So if I go here, pow, click on it, it opens up. It takes you inside of the eyeball. And it's got some contact information. I'll scroll down here so you can see it. And this is really weird too. It says this is contact information. If you'd like to courier our messages to our offline world, if it even exists, please send everything to, and then it's all like starred out. There's no information there. If you would like to speak to a being, you can reach out by voice here, and then there's no phone number. If you would like to reach out to our digital world, send your correspondence here, which I did. I actually sent them a little message or whatever. So that's interesting, right? You go inside of the eyeball like that. Let me go ahead and scooch it up to where it was there. Now, check this out. Speaking of contact information, do you see down here, right next to my shoulder? They've got some other options. This one goes to, you know, their Twitter, their Instagram and stuff, which is okay. There's nothing really, it's not as strange as this website at all. They've got a clock here. What is that? 12:15:23, and it says jump. That's today, and it says jump. Look at, hold on. Let me make myself go away so I'm not in the way here. Check this out though. Look at that. I click on this little clock. I have no idea what it does for you guys. You'll have to let me know if you experience anything different. But it says 12:15:23. That's today's date, and it says jump. What the? Like, do you see this? This is only the beginning of how enigmatic this website is. And keep in mind, this is the movie production company for Leave the World Behind, which basically shows you the apocalypse. Now, they also have a number that you can call. Pull that up, and we've got this little lady who says helping you is our #1 priority. So I also want to comment on that. Let me jump back up here. Hold on. I want to comment on that. I believe that there's people in the movie industry, music industry, and stuff like that. that we have it backwards. That instead of saying like, oh, there's all this secret stuff, it's all evil, it's all satanic, etc. I'm not saying those things don't exist, but I'm also saying I believe that there is another faction, that there's another side that may know the truth. It sure seems like they do, and they're giving it to us. It doesn't make sense to me that they're just, oh, they're rubbing it in our face and they're all laughing and having a good time rubbing it in our face. No, no, no. That's not the purpose of a secret. Those people are not keeping the secret. You know what I mean? They're telling the secret. And I don't believe, I'm not compelled to believe yet that it's for them to laugh at or make jokes or inside jokes about or whatever. Like, this is valuable information that's being shared. You know what I mean? So it makes sense to me that they say helping you is our #1 priority. It's interesting. I don't know. It depends on your perspective. And they have a phone number here. I have called this phone number. I'm going to do it again right now. Hold on. My PIN number is 7005. Don't forget that. I'm going to actually use my phone and put it on speaker so you can hear. It never works for me. I've called this one a few different times. And like I said, this whole website's a puzzle. So this might not even be the right PIN number. It might be something else. But I'm going to dial this number here. And I'm going to let you listen to it.
Hello, friend. And thank you for calling S-Mail Corp. With all the choices you have, we truly appreciate you choosing us. Please enter your PIN to continue. If you do not have a PIN, you can obtain
all right,
one
7005.
by visiting smailcorp.com.
Boom, put it in. Now they're going to hang up on me, watch.
We are sorry. An application error has occurred.
Yeah, it says that
Goodbye.
every time. An application error has occurred. Goodbye. And I get different PIN numbers too. So I remember that this is not the same PIN number that it gave me last time. So that's really interesting. Play with that if you'd like to. And let me know if you're able to get through to anyone or figure out how to get through to anyone. I read through the terms of services or whatever for this website, which is really weird too. Like, it has a terms of services and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of things have that, but a movie production company, like, it's got a long, huge terms of services, right? And one of the things it says is that somewhere on this website, I have not found it yet, you can upload stuff to the website, including your picture or whatever, which might come into play in a bit. Anyways, let's continue on upwards. If you're just joining us, we're checking out the website for the movie production company that made Leave the World Behind. Okay, this is their desktop version of a website. Now, they got this army dude floating around on a pill, sky surfing on a pill. They've got a pineapple grenade that's being carried by a large helicopter. I'm not sure what the pineapple represents quite yet. I'm not sure. If you want to get my attention too, make sure you type in @JayDreamerZ in the chat. Try the pin backwards, says Caketown. Okay, well, maybe another time I will try that. You can feel free to try it backwards if you'd like to. But there's many different ways that I could try that. I just don't want to do it live on the air right now. I just wanted to give you guys the gist of it. All right, now let's keep on going. There's lots more to cover, okay? Pineapple being held up in the sky. Now here we have this flying aquarium, right? With people inside of it. I'm going to take myself away here. Now check this out. Look at these people. You've got this guy who looks like a 1920s gangster holding a Tommy gun, and he's sort of standing off to the side where we've got like these people from the early 19th century or something. They're moving about. They're planting. There's some sort of a farmer there. We have like some sort of medical person over here as well, and someone with a diagram. This is all flying around in the sky, and then the twisted stairways, right, which usually indicate movement of energy, or people typically would point out that it looks like DNA, right? Then we have this. There's this weird code, VA-0101668. And there's people balancing on top of it. There is a cup of coffee. There's your obligatory coffee reference, right? They show you generic coffee in every movie. Milk, too. Really weird, right? They don't advertise specific brands like they normally do with product placement. They just want you to drink coffee and milk, and they don't care what kind. And then all the cigarettes in the ashtray surrounding the eyeball, which I'll click on here in just a minute. But for my number of people out there, let me jump back in here. All right, so for my number of people, I would appreciate it if you could do your own little investigation into VA-0101668. I was gonna ask Tommy to come on, Tommy Truthful, because he's my number dude. Like, he's really good at numbers. But it's pretty early, and I didn't want to be rude and like wake him up or whatever. So hopefully he's resting. But anyways, we might break this down together on my website or something. I'm gonna start live streaming on my website too, especially stuff that's more controversial or whatnot. So this is really weird, right? Let's click on this eyeball and see what happens. So go to the eyeball, click on that, and it zooms in and takes us into the eyeball. The eyeball opens up. So this is all about us. You can see here it's like an about us section about their employees. I'll read a little bit. It says, at SMail Core, we improve people's lives every day by developing creative experiences that take over your mind and control your thoughts. It's our belief that if all you see for the rest of eternity is our content, life wouldn't get any better. Here are the amazing people that make it all possible. And it starts off with Sam Esmail, which I believe could be a euphemism. Not a euphemism, but another way, like a pseudonym for Shamash, or Shamash male, basically. And Shamash being the sun god. Either way, it's even if it's Ishmael, it's indicative of God has heard my mail. You know what I mean? Sending God mail, correspondence, stuff like that. So Sam Esmail grew up in the enigmatic land of New Jersey. He lives part-time in New York City, in Los Angeles. He loves New York. He hates LA. He understands this is somewhat of a cliche, and yet he does not seem to care. I'm going to skip some of these other people. You can feel free to read over this yourself. I just want to read this one down here towards the bottom. There's some weird stuff here. Like, this guy sold his ad space to Geico or something like that. Or he sold his About Me space to Geico or whatever. And then this one says, Anna Vichelio was raised in Georgia. No, that's not the one. Oh, hold on. Raised in Georgia, moved to LA to escape the bugs, only to realize this city also has a pestilence of mosquitoes. There's another mosquito reference. Where's the one that says remembers the color green or something like that? One of these people, it says vividly remembers the color green. I'm looking for it. It's probably right in front of me. Ah, here it is. Nick on the team is from Portland, Oregon, and fondly remembers the color green. Isn't that strange to say it like that? To fondly remember the color green as if it doesn't exist. That may be a coded reference to the color spectrums shifting and changing. And after the apocalypse, like I theorize, you're not going to have many of the colors that you have today because of the source of light that we're depending upon. The source of light is going to change, as will the color spectrum. So it'll be more monochrome. I believe it will be monochrome. So if that was the case, then many of you who are survivors would fondly remember certain colors that no one else born into the next world can even conceive of. They will have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what do you mean a different color? Like, that's the color. You know what I mean? That will be normal to them. All right, cool. Let's get out of this eyeball. It's creeping me out. All right, so boom. We're going to fly up even higher up into the sky, where there's a clock that is flying, and there's a symbolism basically saying your time is running out on the clock with the military guys there, as you can see. And then we've got another doctor chick standing on top of it. We've got this obedient soldier standing on top of his medicine. And then we've got like this, hold on, let me jump out of here. Then oh, that's not it. My bad. There it is. Now you got this guy, another brain reference. You see that? They put another one of these heads and then the brains, and then right above it, it says, just like in They Live, it says sleep, right? With all these butterflies. The butterflies are indicative of change. Anytime you see butterflies, they almost always mean to change. JPA says that the pictures scroll sideways too. They do not on the desktop, for me at least. They do if you're using your phone. So if you're using your phone and you're inside of the little elevator, you may scroll sideways, and I will cover that too. But on the desktop, there is no way for me to scroll sideways. That's my experience. If you have a different experience, please let us know how to scroll sideways. All right, so it says sleep with the butterflies. So a lot of people are spiritually asleep, energetically asleep right now, but a lot of people will actually pass out. Okay, let me jump back in here. So a part of the apocalypse, a big part of it, is that the atmosphere depressurizes. Okay, this is going to have all kinds of side effects on many people. Many people, because the air is being sucked out of their lungs, basically, and they're going to have to really, really exert force to just suck air in to breathe so they don't suffocate. Many people will panic. They'll black out. Their heart rates will get too high and they'll just black out. They'll pass right out. Other people will just pass out of sheer fear. Some people, may have heart attacks or whatever because it's going to be a pretty serious event. So oftentimes this sleep reference is a reference to sleeping during the apocalypse or sleeping through the apocalypse as well. So because many people will just black right out and they'll fall asleep. All right, now we're going to go higher up in the sky. We've got a pelican, another pelican with an eyeball inside of it. We'll click on that here in just a second. Over here, you see a lot of files. Now this, I believe, is the area that the terms of service was referring to when it said you can upload stuff, but I still have not found out how, because if you click on this, it actually pulls up some random fan of the show Mr. Robot who has all these signatures and stuff, and it says Employee of the Month. And apparently this can change according to the terms of service, and you can actually somehow upload your picture or whatever, and you may be chosen to be the Employee of the Month on this website. Weird stuff. Weird stuff. All right, let's continue on. I'm keeping my eyes on the chat too, so if you guys have anything to say. Now we get up even higher and we're starting to see lightning. And there's something we can click on now, which is right above this meditating soldier who's on top of his pill. And the meditating soldier says, Om, Om, which, by the way, we also just recently talked about that word. He says, oh, hey, you caught me meditating. Sorry, it's tough trying to protect this place. So I need to find ways to relax sometimes. We're here to fight for Esmail Corps' freedom. At least, that's what we're told. I asked for more information, but then I woke up here with the gun in my hand, and in order to defend this area, you should probably get moving or else I'll have to shoot. Wait, where's my gun? Oh well. I'll just go back to meditating. And that's what that little soldier is doing, floating up in the sky, where all the lightning is coming down and the plasma is coming down. There's another butterfly for transition or change. We go up past what I'm going to call the firmament, but they're depicting it by clouds. And you have all these brains, space brains, up in the sky. If there is, for me, a reality that is called space brains. Okay, it's hard to explain right now, but I did a whole video. It's really good. It's about 3 hours long, and it's called Plasma Tentacles and Space Brains. Oh my God. If you would like to know the secret behind what it is, or any of that type of stuff, go check that video out. Plasma Tentacles and Space Brains on my Plasma Apocalypse Symbolism or playlist. Hold on, I gotta sip some of this coffee here. Now, why would there be brains in space? Well, that's not it. That's not all there is. There's synapses. They show you all of these neurons, and they show you them firing off all over the place. And then, let me get out of the way. And then they show you people up there in space, these quote-unquote doctor-looking types. This lady's pointing down right at the butterfly, as you can see here. She's pointing right at it. So these are, man, there's purpose behind all of this. There's meaning. This is not, hold on, let me jump back in. This is not random gibberish, okay? All of what you're seeing aligns with my studies on the deeper reality of the world that we live in. And this website and this production company also seems to be pretty blatant about it and tell you that this is what it's about, and that's what they're doing, and that's what they're a part of. So this is what I call the macrocosm, or the fractal verse at large. So this is what you can expect to see whenever you go beyond the firmament out there into the heavens, that you see all of these pathways that they're basically like huge neurons within the mind of God. Right? And these people that go out there like NASA and Elon, they're going to blast off and they're going to traverse through the circuits of time, or however you want to see those. And they're going to go to other worlds, which are depicted by this other world right here. All right, let's continue on moving up. We're going to go up into the fractal verse. We're going to keep on going. Now, this is supposed to be space, okay? We've started off on Earth. We're going higher and higher. We're out there in space, but space on their website looks an awful lot like the inside of a brain. Right? And this is what it looks like when neurons fire off and they send information from one hub or world or realm to another, right? And here you can see all of the little dendrites that are attached to this neuron or whatever, right? We talked about that a lot. Here's an alien on a UFO. He's like, I don't know what's going on. We get up a little higher. There's some sort of a pill here that looks like it has a skeleton head on it. I don't take a lot of pills, so I don't know what that could be. I'm not sure. Maybe ecstasy or something. I'm not sure. But this one's got an alien head. That one's got like a skeleton head. Then there's a doctor up there, and there's like a dead soldier or something just floating, laying there in the middle. And then there's some more neurons back there behind me. This one has an eyeball in the middle. And this is often shown to us as well. With these bad guys that typically come from space and they have tentacles and they usually have one eye, you know what I mean, right there in the middle. Now this is a pretty basic one. This just shows like different press stuff. So this one is website related. You can go and check out like all the articles and stuff. This one you can read about how Obama was like the right-hand man. They were asking him like, hey, what should the apocalypse look like? And Obama was like, no, let's change that. It needs to actually be this way. So I find it to be extremely interesting. Let's go ahead and keep on traveling up through the Fractalverse. Oh, a big shout out. Christmas present was given from Welsh Warrior. Thank you. Looks like 50 pounds or something. I don't know what that is, but it's 50 more than what I had before. So thank you very much and Merry Christmas to you too. All right, let's see. We're going to go up a bit more. You can see right behind me. Let me disappear over here. So now we've got a fish out there in space. This is interesting too because there are the waters above, right, that are mentioned specifically in the Bible. Here's another pill with a happy face. There's some sort of a building inside of this one, and there's another brain reference, right? This guy you can click on, so I'm actually going to click on him and see what he says. All right. Now, I'm going to read this to you. He says, welcome to the S-Mail Corporation checkup. Have you experienced any fatigue during your journey to visit Sam? No? Oof. Well, that's not normal. Have you had nightmares in the past few days brought on by strange visions of an alternate reality? No? Well, this isn't right. Do you happen to see a mosquito, a meditating soldier, various human eyes on your way up here? Oh boy. Okay. Take 3 of these pills. Actually, take 1,000. Thank you for completing the S-Mail Core checkup. I'll send my invoice to you via email. Isn't that something? That's something weird. All right, let me jump back up. Actually, I'm just going to keep on scrolling up. Thanks again to the Welsh Warrior. Big, huge shout out. Thank you for the support. All right, cool. So we're going to go up even higher, deep up into the Fractalverse. They keep showing you brains. Or the mind, right? And this is what I talk about being the greater reality, to me at least, right? Now, we come up to this huge purple-looking planet, or world, or whatever it's supposed to be here, right? We get up here, and it's sort of cut in half, and there's some more clouds. This is like another world, another realm. And here we have a picture of what I can only assume to be Kool-Aid. Sitting right in the middle of this strange purple land, purple world, with all of these what look to be employees or something, you know, passed out or whatever is happening there, all the way around the Kool-Aid. There's an alien over here in front of what looks like to be a telephone kiosk. Sorry, I was just catching back up in the chat. And then we got this guy who's standing over here like some sort of cult leader, and it says believe, and he's wearing these like robes and stuff. And he's pointing over towards the Kool-Aid. There's another giant fish way out there in space, so the fish are getting bigger. Now check this out. This gets a little... We're going to take another turn here, right? There's an alien standing next to a television set, and they're playing something on the television. It's got a picture of a fish head and an eagle head. Now, I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to roll the dice and share it. Let me jump back into the chat real quick and see if anybody's trying to get my attention. Snowflake says hi. Says, JayDreamerZ, have you checked your emails to see if you got anything strange? They have not written me back, if that's what you're asking. I do get strange things all the time, but not from these people. Let's see. All right, cool. Looks like everyone is glued to the screen, so let's just keep on going. All right, now, I'm going to click on this television right here. Okay, I'm going to show you what pops up. And I'm also going to mute it. Hold on, just in case. All right, so I'm just going to skip forward 5 seconds at a time. If I can. If it will let me here. All right, we start off by a picture of a flag. Now, this whole video is this cartoon version of like this propaganda video, right? They show you the fish flag. It's waving in the wind. It's all black and white and stuff for the most part. And then they show you like this gathering, some sort of political gathering. And there's like this fish president looking dude. Let me scooch this down a little so you can see it actually. All right, so here's the fish president guy. He's addressing the people of whatever country this is supposed to be, right? Hold on. Just going to see if I can skip around. Now, the people are listening, and he's like looking at a picture of a train. He's trying to like make all these improvements, working on the infrastructure or whatever. Hold on, I don't like this. I don't like that it's playing. I just want to skip it around. Can I do that? It's crazy. I was doing it earlier. Maybe. I don't know. It won't let me skip. Whatever. Anyways, these 3 smokestacks, okay? I've seen these in many different movies, most notably 9, the movie 9. There's also 3 towers that are depicted as Camelot in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right? These are the 3 beams, basically, up at the island of the North Pole. So the central, the anode, and the cathode, right? But anyways, they show us this weird propaganda video. I don't think I can skip through it. There's this weird president fish guy, and they show you those 3 beams. The trains all start derailing, and then the president fish guy starts like arresting people. He's watching girls dance, and then there's an eagle in the audience. You see a little eagle? He's whispering into the people's ears, and then as he's whispering or gossiping about the fish guy, he starts to put all these signs up. He starts doing protests and stuff like that, and they're like, kill the fish, stop the fish, or whatever. And then the eagle starts rallying the people together to sort of revolt against the fish president guy. The eagle goes out, and they flip him upside down. The eagle ends up chopping off the fish guy's head and holds it up and stuff like that. And then they all hold up these eagle flags. It says, this bird you cannot change. I'm as free as a bird now. So there's all this like eagle versus fish symbolism or whatever. And then he gets sworn in, and he becomes the new leader or whatever. And then whenever he's doing his thing, he starts becoming corrupt, and he's making his address, and the bridges are collapsing and things are falling apart and stuff. And he's becoming all corrupt or whatever. And then as he's making his address in the audience, you'll see there's another little fish guy whispering into people's ears. So the gossip starts all over again, and the story starts all over again. That's pretty much the video. So let's get back to the website. So that's the video you can find right here, right? I was just showing you little clips of it. Now we get up even higher, and let me jump out of the way. Oops, that was not the right button. That's not the right button. There it is. All right, now we've got this guy. Now I can't really zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, it does not let me zoom in here for some reason, but I don't know who this guy is, but I don't know, some older gentleman sitting cross-legged on this like purple rug or whatever, leading up to like these golden gates. And then there's this eyeball with electricity all the way around it. Aliens, obviously. There's another fish over here on this side. There's a comet or a chromatic aberration. And then there's this guy up here. We'll get to him in a second. First, I'm going to click on this eyeball to see what we got. Zooms us into the eyeball, and it shows you all of their work in film and television and stuff like that, right? Which you're free to check out. So oftentimes these eyeballs are the only actual like website portion of their website, like that talks about their businesses. Let's see this guy in the egg chair, what he says. So he says, well, you did it. You made it all the way to the top 1%. Unfortunately, Sam is not here. He's too busy making decisions that will decide the fates of the other 99% that you just passed in order to make it here. Too many secret handshakes and backdoor shenanigans to arrange. But keep going, and you'll see where the rest of his fellow masters of the universe really live. I'll see you on the next go-round. That's what this guy down here says. So let's keep going like he says. Now you'll notice up here there's actually some upside down or seemingly upside down volcanoes that have electricity pouring out of them. They're plasma volcanoes, right? So if we take a ride up, it takes us right back to the start. And this is something that you could just go forever. Okay, so it repeats itself. You just keep on going up. The higher up you go into the macrocosm above, the more you start seeing the exact same things over and over and over. This is the initial concept, the basic tenet of the fractal verse that I talk about and that I teach people about, right? Is that it's fractal, it's holographic. It continues on. There is nothing really bigger or smaller in comparison because it's an illusion. It's a hologram, basically. So you could go down into the microscopic and it would be the exact same as going this direction. And this is what you would see, basically, down into the microscopic. And you just keep on going. We don't have the technology to you know what I mean, focus in super tiny or whatever. Like, we have electron microscopes, which can show you, like, you know, some things, but not the tiny microscopic worlds that are down on the microscopic. So anyways, I talk about the microcosm, which is the smaller worlds and universes that are actually inside of our bodies that we contain in us, in our minds, all that stuff, spinal column, all that stuff. And then the macrocosm, which would be above us and around our world, around our realm, right? All right, cool. So that was the website. Let me go ahead and... Oh, it said VA. Something about VA too. Remember that little flying aquarium? I want to go back to that real quick. So I do know some VA symbolism. You see how it says VA right there? So if you take a look at those letters, right, there's different things that it can be, but this one is the one that catches my attention. Is, you know, it's the square and the compass, basically, the V and the A together. All right, cool. Now let's take this down and I'm going to jump over to the mobile version, which has even more stuff on it. That's weird. And I'm going to need your input because there's going to be a lot of hidden codes on this one. All right, one sec. I'm trying to find it here. There it is. All right, cool. I guess I can jump back on because this one's going to be a mobile version, so I can be off to the side right here. And let's see. Just want to see if I can move it around. All right, cool. So what you're looking at right now is the elevator, aka the front door of the building that we saw. And let's see. Okay, so up here, I'm gonna read this to you because I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see more stuff. Now, where is this? Hold on. All right, you see up here at the top, I'm going to read this. It says contact, about, press, news media, and something TV. Anyways, this is kind of like their menu, right? So up here is kind of like their menu. These are going to be all of the stuff that we clicked on earlier in the eyeballs that we saw earlier, right? Somebody in the chat mentioned that there are buttons off to the side that you can interact with, right? And this is the other side of that door that the guard was guarding, basically, right? All right, so now that I've explained that, I'm going to make it bigger so that you can actually see more stuff. So I'm going to make the floor and the roof kind of disappear so that you can really take a good look inside of here. All right, cool. Now, this is the bottom floor. This is the ground floor, right? We've got like an escalator and it goes up. Up there at the top is another brain. This brain has electricity coming out of it and stuff like that. Almost everybody in here is wearing masks. Okay, I will note that, and I'll show you some stuff regarding that. This monkey, this gorilla, he's wearing a mask. You can click on him, and when you do, he says, not this again. This place is already swarming with S-mail fanatics. Maybe I can convince them not to head up to reception for their own good. So he's saying maybe the monkey with the mask on his face can convince people not to go up any higher, like we just did on the website, right? Now, on this one, you can actually scroll off to the side. So once you get off on the floor, you can sort of walk around by scrolling left or right, and you can see more stuff. So for example, here's a guy that you can click on. You click on him, and you see that he's walking to smaller people. And here's one of our first hidden messages. I have not figured any of these out at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and make this way bigger so we can see it. But there's a lot of codes and weird, strange messages. This one says FPWFAX. Let me just, can I zoom in on that? Hold on. There we go. FPWFAX. So this is some sort of code. So I have not figured out or broken this code yet because I really haven't even tried to yet, but I know these are words or something. There's something to this. And we're going to see a few of these as we continue on, right? Let me go ahead and adjust the screen here. Now let's go on to this next room. Now, right in front of these little tiny humans that are being walked, right here, there's some guy pulls his mask down. There's also, I can zoom in. This is cool. This dude's passed out in the plant right next to him. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know I could zoom in. All right, this is awesome. There's some dude hiding off to the side over here. He kind of looks scared. Let's see what we got going on. This looks like there's a statue or something right next to him. Now, this guy says, "Come to Papa. Aren't you just the cutest little executives? Did you miss me?" Okay. Excuse me. And then we got this statue here. I don't know who this is. Okay, there's some guy with glasses, right? Up there on the top. They're all considering the statue. This guy looks worried. This guy's hiding for some reason. All strange things are happening here. And we go to this next room off to the side, and you can see that there's a laptop on the ground that's on fire or smoking or something. And they're all kind of, this guy's about to step on it. This guy's worried about it. Like the laptop, there's something wrong with the laptop, or maybe the internet, right? I don't know. Just thinking off the top here. I just know it's a weird website. And then we get right back around to close to where we started. We've got some girl with some weird mask on or something. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's covering her entire face and she's taking a selfie. So that's pretty interesting too. Now, the doors close and we're going to go to level 2. Oh, I just got a donation in the chat. 1027. That's my number. How cool. That's the number I always see. Thank you. Thanks for everything you do. You're very welcome. Happy winter solstice on the way. Yes, thank you. Happy winter solstice to you too. Thank you to Selenite Sky. That was very kind of you. All right, let's go on to the next floor. So we're gonna go up the elevator. There's another little butterfly there as we pass. Now we've come to the next floor where the reception area is. This guy standing in front of the Mr. Robot poster. This production company did do Mr. Robot, probably the only other real popular thing that they're known for. If we zoom in, you can see that there's this guy, and this says "Goodbye, friend" right here, the final season. Now, if you click on this guy, we can read, "Thank you again." He says, "Welcome to SML Core. Are you here for the experiments?" What's that? Oh, you have a meeting with Sam. Well, that's completely different. Okay, let's take a look. Today is what? Thursday, December 14th, 2023? It is not. He's a day behind. That's interesting. Ah, yes, here you are. Well then, head up on the elevator. Oh, you know what? My bad. This isn't live. I forgot. I took screenshots of this yesterday. So it was correct yesterday whenever I took this screenshot. He says, head up on the elevator. Sam is waiting for you. So all of this is to meet somebody named Sam, right? What does the word Sam means? I believe it goes back to like the Hebrew word Shem or Sham, which means name, right? The name of God, etc. Now we can go sideways. So if we go off to the right, this is what we'll find here. Off to the right, we see a poster for their show Homecoming, right? And then we've got this medical chick with the laptop who's talking to this alien. There's aliens all throughout this. Feel free to leave your thoughts on what all this symbolizes and means and stuff too. Now, this lady says, well, your cholesterol's fine and your blood pressure looks pretty good, but everything else on your chart is bizarre, basically. So that's her with the alien. Here's a Briar Patch movie. Now, I've talked about the symbolism of the Briar Patch many different times. You got some weird dude in a gi, in like a karate gi or whatever with the alien, and he's meditating. Anyways, Briar Patch symbolism is the Valley of Thorns, you know, at the North Pole or whatever. It's hard to find killer when everyone's a crook. All right. Anyway, so we move on to the next part. We click on this guy and he says, wow, your aura is extremely blue. That's what it said for me. I don't know if it'll say anything different for you, but he said that my aura is extremely blue. Then we get to this one, it says Homecoming. And we've got some representative or something hanging out with the aliens. Homecoming, coming home. There's the one eye symbolism, the red eye symbolism, the evil eye, etc. Now I click on this guy, and this is what we get. Another code. Another strange message. ATWZTS. Someone help me out with that, please. If you guys can figure this out, get my attention in the chat if you figure out how to break that code. Then we go even more to the right, and we've got this weird... We got a poster of Angeline. Some 80s looking chick there. And then this guy. Looks like the Big Lebowski or somebody, like in his Speedo hanging out, or that's probably not a Speedo, hanging out with the alien who's got a flagellum cat of nine tails type device, and there's a disco ball on the ground. Weird stuff. Let's see what's on the next room. Oh, wait, this guy says something. What does he say? When you click on him, he says, Sedan nar har framsteg Mislikats. I have no idea. Someone's going to have to help me out with this. It seems, I mean, that's a foreign letter right there. So that's interesting. I don't know. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Like I said, there's a lot of hidden secret codes in this website. Here's that employee of the month section. It's the same as I just showed before as well too. So we'll just take a quick look there and skip out. All right. Then if you wanted, I took a picture of this so you can actually zoom in and see what it looks like on the number pad. So if you take a look at the number pad, this is floor 3 that we're on right now. It says elevator number 5393. Elevator inspected 501 times by employee number 979 on December of 2020. Terms of file in the office. Terms on file in the office. Now there's an R level. I assume that's research and development, but I'm not sure. It's weird. It just goes from 12 to R. And then down here, oh, there's this. I have not tried clicking on that. So I actually didn't notice this, that there's some sort of a key type deal and you can click on that. I wonder what that does. I'm sure that does something. All right, let's see what's on the next floor. All right, if you're just joining us, we're checking out this creepy website from this movie production company that made Leave the World Behind, right? Barack and Michelle Obama had a huge hand, put in a lot of money in investing into this movie. And they were asked personally what the apocalypse should look like in the movie, right? And then this is not their website, but one of their associated website people. All right. Now, we go to the next floor, boom, and it opens up. There's an eyeball, another eyeball. This is very similar to the one on the desktop, so we'll go ahead and keep on going on this one. It's all sort of blocked out. We get to the next floor, and we have a microscope with... We have a microscope with fish and tiny people. There's some sort of a lizard down here. There's a frog right here, and there's a soldier under the microscope. The soldier is glowing green. Let's check it out. Let's see what he says. I clicked on the soldier, and this is the message we get. He says, "Are you off to see Sam?" "Oh, me too. I'm just helping out these nice scientists for a minute. And honestly, this feels pretty great. Like a heat lamp or something. It's almost too warm. Ha ha ha. Hot, actually. And why do I smell smoke? Wait, what the..." So that's what we have when we click on that guy, right? So he's underneath... He's underneath the microscope, and there's some sort of like beam or energy or something that's causing him to irradiate, and he's getting hot. This is weird. Now we've got some more tiny stuff happening. There's dudes riding on top of pills. Pills are falling from the sky. There's a nasty looking bug with something strapped to its back right here, and an alien that looks like he's carrying off some chick. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but oh, I'm going to click on him. See how there's a little circle? You can click on him. And look at that nasty bug. What is that strapped to its back? I can't tell. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I clicked on the dude surfing on the pill. Another password or code. My vocabulary is terrible today. Some code. MPUUTXD-DS. Interesting. I'm going to be very interested to see what all this translates into. Now, this guy, the alien carrying this chick, says pod hatched. New hire. Right? So pod hatched, and then he corrects himself and says new hire. Interesting. Hatching people in pods, pod people, clones, etc., right? Now, these dudes are getting sucked up into the sky, up to that little spaceship over here. Scroll over a bit, you can see more of them all getting sucked up. This guy, if you click on him, he says, live was I. Live was I. And he's getting sucked up into the sky, right? Now we scroll over to his counterpart over here, click on him, and he says, ere, or therefore, I saw evil. Which is, the other one was a palindrome, basically. Right? Alright, now we click on this dude who's bent over backwards, floating up into the sky, and he says, frack, I thought the hub had been destroyed. It looks like this will all happen again. Cyclical apocalypse reference, right? Alright, let's move up to the next floor. We've got another eyeball. And if you want to read it or whatnot, here's what it says. It's all about the corporation. Developing experiences that take over your mind and control your thoughts. Mind control reference, right? We go up to the next floor and we have a shark blimp. So a shark floating up into the sky, some tiny little corporate executive on it right there. What else do we got? There's a dead guy off to the side. I think he's on the last slide. There's people just sitting on the rafters and the beams. There's a cloud, right? Let's scroll over a bit. Oh, I clicked on the shark. We get another code. Another one. ANLAEWEZ. I have no idea what any of this means at the moment. I do know it's some sort of a code. Or cipher. Now this guy, we got another guy. He's running. He's got a briefcase. Kid sitting on the railing there. Not much going on. Let's go to the next slide over here. Oh, this guy. I clicked on him and it says, there must be some kind of way to get out of here. Now jump, it says. This is the second time. Remember earlier we clicked on that on the menu on the desktop and it said jump. It had today's date. It said jump. Now, I'm just off the top of my head. I'm going to talk about what this means to me. Okay. You can actually get out of this world by jumping during the apocalypse. So if you're tired of this world, you don't want to be here any longer or whatever, and you want to go to some other realm or whatever, you could just jump. Because whenever the depressurization happens, stuff will just start floating. All you have to do is jump straight up into the air as hard as you can, and you'll float straight up into the air and you'll keep going. Okay? Now, that doesn't guarantee you will survive, because there's many things up there that can, you would like to prepare for. You would like to be suited up and have your jump suit. Okay? This is also referenced in the 21 Pilots, many of their songs. They talk about having a jumpsuit, wearing this jumpsuit or whatnot, right? So you want to have a protective suit if you are going to survive and try to jump out and leave the sky whenever it depressurizes. Ben DeGroot, what's up, Ben DeGroot? Welcome to my channel. All right, so there's another jump reference. It also could be the leap of faith, right? When you get to Mount Meru, if you want to get down inside of it, instead of like turning around and trying to scale down or whatever, you could actually just jump into it. It may be, I should preface that, it may be that you could just jump into it, and that when you descend through this bottomless pit, or seemingly bottomless pit, you'll just float on down. You know what I mean? And that's a way faster way to get down inside of the earth. Just floating down instead of having to crawl all the way down. All right, so that's interesting too. We got a lot of people here. Oh, there's somebody in the chat trying to get my attention. JayDreamerZ, I just read the terms of service. The only way to not be bound by the contract is to not access the site. It's ironclad. They cannot be sued, especially class actions. Right on. Well, I'm not suing anybody. I don't care about all that law stuff. But yes, the terms of service are really weird, right? Now, these people are like floating up into the sky or falling. You can't really tell, right? But if you click on this guy, let's read what he says. Are you going down or am I going up? One way or the other, I gotta go. Big meeting today. So this is all about the big meeting of the apocalypse, or the meeting, the celestial wedding, the terrestrial wedding of the sky and the earth, right? The bride and the bridegroom, etc. And these people are getting sucked up, okay? But he could also be somebody that's falling down or floating down from another world. You don't know. But this is the time when otherworldly entities float down into our world, and they can come in through that same blowout point. And we can just jump, like I talked about earlier, and you can just leave the world if you want to. Or, If you have a vehicle that can do that, you can do that too. Now, we've got this guy. Let's check him out real quick. He's got a knife in his back. Let's see what he says. This guy says, dying in vain isn't really all that bad since nearly everyone does it. It's the living in vain you really have to watch out for. And he seems to be unaffected by the knife in his back, and he's like playing on his phone or something. That's really interesting. And that takes us back to the start. So we're going to move up to the next floor. We're going to go up to this next floor. Now, when we come to this floor, not only can you move side to side, but you can go up and down as you're going side to side. I remember that. We've got these two soldiers. And right above these two soldiers, we have a pterodactyl. Or pteranodon. I can't tell which is which. So, this is a pterodactyl. Now, I'm going to talk about dinosaurs for just a quick moment, okay? I believe that there are monstrous, gigantic, monstrous creatures that flood this world every other cycle. Actually, I'm going to just say every apocalypse, okay? Every apocalypse, otherworldly monsters flood into this world. From under us and from above us. The ones that come up from underneath, oftentimes I've seen many clues and references, especially in Hollywood movies and stuff, that many of them look like that. That there are these flying phantazoid-like creatures that, are dangerous, basically, kind of like pterodactyls and stuff like that. There's a movie that portrays this. It's called The Silence, and I think that one's also on Netflix. Oh, I just got a huge donation from Babsha Knows, who has a sweet icon, by the way. So you can see that there's like plasma with a Z pinch in the middle. Plasma shoots up and comes down, right? Just like the sprites that we talked about, or the cherubs, the cherub, right? The thunderbolts of the gods. Thank you so much, Babsha Knows. That's very kind. That's very useful also. So thank you. Wow, that's very awesome. All right, cool. Big shout out to Babsha Knows. All right, now, we've got a dinosaur in this one. Let's see what else is. This guy's pointing his gun at a margarita off to the side. Check this out. So I think I can scooch this over just a bit here. Oh, if you click on this one, it's another code. So there's another code right here, EZHHYPPA. All right, cool. If we click on this other soldier on this mysterious and weird website, he's pointing it up like at this margarita or something, and he says, I want to be in compliance with all of this. That's what he says. I want to be in compliance with all of this. Now, this is the full picture. There's actually somebody dancing like on the straw of this margarita underneath this flying Phanazoid pterodactyl looking deal. And this is where he's pointing his gun. So is he trying to shoot? What's he trying to shoot here? You know what I mean? Let's see. Then we can go over to another one, and we've got the pineapple just like we had on the other website. But this one, we have a syringe. There's some sort of a doctor. Let me zoom in here and see what we got. Wow, these guys are so tiny, right? So we've got this tiny doctor. This represents us in our actual size too, by the way. And then we've got a white animal. Also, the Phantazoid references. Phantazoids are oftentimes like a dull white. By the way, if you want to see a really good real-world example of the type of like skin that I believe Phantazoids have, go to my community section. It's actually Caketown, right? Shout out Caketown. She posted this, and it's a picture. I just reposted it. It's a picture of this effed up looking creature that they found in Antarctica. It's freaking a Phantazoid, man. You got to see it. Anyways, so they're injecting this rat, mouse, whatever, they're doing tests on him and stuff. This little doctor looking dude says, this little Oompa Loompa looking doctor says, last week I was just an intern. This week, still an intern. But they're letting me do this crazy stuff for some reason. So they're talking about how this guy's just an intern. He's just a beginner. He just got here, right? I'm just going to comment as we go on this, okay? But I talk about how all of us here now, with our small stature, etc., and our small lifespans, we're basically children. We're brand new. I don't care how old you think you are. I don't care if you look like this guy and you're starting to get gray hair, or if you have wrinkles, or if life has treated you crazy, you know what I mean? You're a child. In comparison to the lifespans we will inherit and gain back after the apocalypse, and the lifespans we once had a long time ago, you're just a child. You just got here. You're an intern. I don't care how much professed expertise a person has, how many years they've been studying, or, you know, what they're experts on, even myself, Okay. I know next to nothing compared to like what I know I would learn if I lived to be 1,000 years old. And I mean, even all this live stream, I don't even know how to describe it. But anyways, that's what I'm getting from what he's saying. Let's move on. Now, here's another weird picture. We've got this dead looking tree rising up out of the ground. Zoom in on it a bit. You can see there's another syringe being stuck into the tree, into the branch. And then there's like tumbleweeds on top that are holding up the Ace of Spades. And then on top of the Ace of Spades is a shot of some kind of what looks to be alcohol. And then jumping off of the tree at the top, there's some sort of a high diver who's about to, I presume, jump into the shot of alcohol that's on the Ace of Spades. What do you make of this? And the only answer that I'm just not interested in hearing is it's just all random stuff. That's all. It has no point to it. I make websites. I have my own website, and it takes a long time to put this stuff together. This took a lot of thought. You know what I mean? For both the desktop and mobile version. Now, you can click on the shot glass and it says, sorry, sir, that offer is only valid on your next visit. I don't believe they're talking about your visit to the website. Okay. Now, we close the doors. You can see that there's some sort of drone carrying a bomb on the top up here. A bombardier drone. So, drones are autopiloted, so they're not being flown by humans. So this is, for me, symbolic of the robot uprising. I don't know what you want to call it. Whenever there's an influx of energy in our world, right? The next time we have a polarity shift and all that energy comes up into our atmosphere. And if the world depressurizes, like I believe it will, then we'll also have red energy coming down from above too. And that will energize our atmosphere. Okay. Many people have studied and know that our atmosphere used to be electrically charged to the point where you could just pull energy and turn objects on from the ether itself, from the air. Just reach up and grab it and take it right out of the air or plug it into the earth, and you can get energy from both. That's how much energy we used to have in our world. And that had direct effects on us in bodily form, and it had direct effects on us in our spirit and stuff too. Anyways, so this is basically just a robot, a plasma possessed robot with a bomb. All right, next up, we get way high up here. So we go up above these clouds, right? So there's a bunch of clouds or whatever. We go up above the clouds, symbolically above the firmament. And it shows us the pyramids of Giza. What is this? Some of this stuff I have not actually seen. I haven't been able to zoom into it. So we've got an alien who's in some sort of weird looking jar spacecraft. A spacecraft that's like a jar. And he's got a blonde chick with him that, he seems to be pretty happy about that. All right, let's see what else I got here. So we click on those two, and he says, in the vastness of space and the immensity of time, it is my joy to share a planet and an epic with you. See, that's interesting too. So he says, the aliens, this is when the aliens come down. And I don't think they look exactly like that or whatever. But this is when otherworldly fractalverse travelers, humanoid in form, okay, they may look a little different depending on which world they just came from and what their experiences on that world are. But this is when they come down. And this is the story of the fallen ones, okay, or the ones that floated down into this world, and they took wives for themselves, as discussed in Enoch, chapter 3, I believe it was, right? Where they swear. And they consecrate themselves. They swear an oath to take wives and to break this space rule that you're not supposed to come in and take wives and, you know what I mean? Like change history, basically. So he says an epic. What does he say? Hold on, let me go back. It's my joy to share this planet and an epic with you. So an epic is a vast amount of time. I believe, it's my theory, that epic goes from apocalypse to apocalypse, basically. Or possibly pole reversal to pole reversal, or polarity reversal. Let's check this out with the pyramids, right? So if we zoom in on this one right here, we've got some sort of a flask with blue liquid inside of it. This is a piece of ice up there floating on the clouds. Okay, this to me represents the firmament and going beyond the firmament, up above the firmament, which I believe is made out of ice. And then we have the pyramids. These are pyramids on the firmament above. There was a popular post about a year ago, I think, where it said that there was there's always these posts by people that claim to be time travelers. Well, there was one that was really interesting, and he was talking about 3 days of darkness, and he said, don't look up at the lights. When you see the lights, and you'll see pyramids in the sky. This time traveler said some really enigmatic things, right? So here's what we have. They blast off up into quote unquote space or whatever. Let's go. Oh, and then they have the Moai up there too. You see the Moai floating up there in the heavens. I clicked on this little alien dude and it just gave me another strange code. LAE-LSF-BGF. That's weird. Jot that one down if you're keeping track. Now, let's zoom in on this one. We're still in the mobile version of this mysterious website. We've got some sort of old guy playing golf. I assume this is a golf ball heading our way, like a golden golf ball. Some woman. And then we've got a polar bear that's throwing these ice cubes down and crushing their golf cart. And there's an alien there too. What does this symbolize? What are you getting from this? It looks to be some sort of a machine or possibly space vehicle right behind the pyramids here. I clicked on the polar bear. It just says, look out below. He's dropping the ice. Oh, this could be a reference to whenever the dome actually cracks open. So if the dome is made out of ice, which I believe it is, it's going to crack open. There's going to be huge chunks of pure ice just falling down from the sky. That would be one reason why it would be very much a good idea to know where a sturdy cave is, okay? Because if you imagine that we go through an apocalyptic event, and by apocalyptic I mean a depressurization of our atmosphere, it's going to be fog everywhere. So if there are chunks of the sky actually floating down in your direction, there's a good chance you might not be able to see them. One, it'll be dark. Two, it'll be foggy. So, if you're underneath huge chunks of ice, that comprise the sky, being in a cave would be your best bet, especially a cave that has many different exit points and stuff like that. That would be a good idea. However, of course, the safest place being Mount Meru, right? All right, we'll talk about the chunks of ice falling from the sky another time. Up here we have more flasks. There's actually some corporate guy in this flask right here. This flask has like some smoke coming off of it. This one's yellow, this one's orange. Let's take we're almost done riding this elevator. So we go up, that was the 13th floor. We pass this lady who's sitting next to a giant pill of some sort. We go all the way up and now suddenly we're underground. Once more, we go up and we end up underground, right? Just like those underneath us, they have a sky, they have an atmosphere and stuff, but if they keep going up, they hit our floor underneath us, right? And this is exactly how it's described in the Native American myths about the different worlds. And they keep going up through these different actual physical worlds, right? This one also kind of reminds me of DIA a little bit. It's got some DIA vibes right there. You can see the purple lights and stuff too. All right, jumping into the chat, we got Michael Marcello. Huge thank you once again to Babsha Knows. I super appreciate it. It was very kind of you. And happy holidays. And let's see, where was I just now? Michael Marcello, who says, JayDreamerZ, maybe the 100-pound hail. Yes. So the Bible, in Revelation, it talks about hail weighing as much as a talent, right? Or 100 pounds. So there will be huge amounts of hail. We'll call it hail. I mean, hail technically is, the water that freezes, the rain that freezes or whatever, and it accumulates or whatever. But if it's freezing and there's fog up there or whatever, and it's sticking together, it's going to be gigantic hail. Huge amounts of hail. All right, let's see what else we got. We scroll sideways. There is our Kool-Aid pitcher. Let's zoom in on this and see if we can find anything interesting. Looks like there's some sort of a kid or somebody, and I believe I could click on that. So I did click on this, and he says, I hope that hippie on the 8th floor is okay. I don't remember what hippie he's talking about. I did not make a note of what we saw on the 8th floor specifically. Now this gets really weird. Let's check this out. So we scroll over, and there's like this column in the middle, and there's this nasty bug. Okay, I hate bugs. If you're new to my channel, I hate bugs. There's this nasty looking, disgusting spider looking tick bug. And there's an even bigger worm behind it. Bugs are going to grow to gigantic sizes after the apocalypse. They already were. We have their fossils. We have evidence when they were petrified in stone, when the plasma came down and Medusa's hair turned things into rock. We have these bugs, okay, all kinds of nasty stuff. Huge ones, dragonflies, bigger than I could even show you with my hands right now. Scorpions and all kinds of spiders and stuff. Like, insects breathe through their skin. Arthropods, I should say, specifically, breathe through their skin. Or their whatever, their whatever's on the outside. They don't have skin, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And when they have when they breathe in more oxygen, they just naturally get big. They get really big when there's more oxygen in the air. So you're going to see sandworms, huge ones, gigantic ones, especially whenever you take into consideration that the surface will be very liquefied, right? There'll be a lot of liquefaction because of worldwide earthquakes. Anyways, gigantic bugs. I have made a video about this. I did put my gigantic bugs video towards the top so you guys can rewatch it if you'd like to. Yeah, big old nasty bugs. And then it's a purple light too, right? So whenever the light returns to this world, the sun is going to be taken away. Your sun is going to disappear. A bug is never just a mistake. That's what he says when I click on it. Now that's interesting because it could be talking about like a bug in the system, like some sort of an error or something like that. But it can also be talking about the insect, but it's never a mistake. And they put that on this website. This is a movie production website. I just want to remind you of that. This is not like, you know, a Skull and Bones website. This is not like some secret society website. This is not even a fan website for stuff like that. Like, this is a movie production website, and they make movies about different things. So let's zoom in on this worm, this nasty centipede-looking deal. And there's this chick right here who's drinking some champagne or something, and she's riding on top of this worm. Now, I will say, even though I think all the bugs are disgusting and gross, that doesn't mean that they're all evil or bad or out to get you. Okay, there are neutral bugs that don't even care. They don't want to eat you or anything. And I'm sure in the world to come, you'll probably be able to ride them, you know, ride on top of some bugs or whatever. I will be hesitant to do that. All right, let's see what we got on the other room. Oh, the purple light too. That's the purple flash. Okay, so when the light does return after the sun goes away, I'm writing about this more extensively in my book right now. I call it the Hyperborean electrical arc theory. But basically, there are alternative forms of celestial lights that are called luminaries, okay? And that there are, in turn, are different suns of the ancient age that we have forgotten about. Those suns or those light sources are going to return, right? Whenever the light source comes back, I believe it flashes purple, exciting the sodium vapor that will be in the air from all the vapor and all the sodium. The sodium is basically salt, and that comes from the ocean water that gets pulled up into the sky. It just floats right up into the sky, having an electrical current ran through it, which is all that plasma that goes through the ocean water, and it actually just pulls apart the sodium out of the water. And then that sodium becomes ionized. And when it initially becomes ionized, there's other chemicals, there's other gases up there. I can't remember off the top of my head which one is the most predominant, but the first one to be used up flashes purple. So you get a purple light, right? And that purple flash down here on our microscopic point of view will last for many years. So you'll have a purple fog all over the place, basically. And it'll be brighter the closer you are to like the North Pole and stuff like that. Anyways, and then that'll ease into more of a red spectrum, etc. And now let's take a look at this. You've got some sort of a supply truck underground in these tunnels with the little alien, and they have seemed to have, be keeping. That's my mom's favorite part. That reminds me of Goonies. That's so funny. They have the same exact statue in Goonies, and he breaks the penis on accident. Anyways, statue of David, the Sphinx, and Abraham Lincoln, who is basically in this statue a giant or a titan sitting in the throne. This is all very interesting symbolism. Now, if you click on the statue of David, he says this. He talks. And he says, give a man a gun and he can rob a bank. Give a man a bank and he can rob the world. But give a man Piero Canata a hammer and he'll probably just break your toe. Maybe that's a reference to one of their movies. I don't know. Now, we get up to this next floor and it's a vault. I could not figure out how to open this at all. Somebody did tell me that they figured it out, and they like made a circle on the phone or something. I tried swiping in a circular motion. I could not open this. I couldn't get past it. I couldn't go sideways. This is just really enigmatic. They just have this vault door. Now, symbolically, I will talk about the symbolic symbol of this, right? So we've got the double circle, the outer circle, and then the inner circle right here. And then we've got these 8 lines that go through it. If you see a similar image to this, oftentimes this represents the vault of the sky. Okay, it doesn't have to be a vault or anything. It's just a double circle, the target, right? And then you'll have like it's not always 8. Sometimes it's just 4. You know, sometimes it's 8 or whatever. In these ancient, Akkadian wall carvings of like, you know, the Anunnaki and stuff like that, they'll show you a star, the Star of Marduk and stuff like that, that looks similar to this, but 2 of these are like beams of light and the other 2 are rivers. So it's if you have to imagine, let's say that this is like a dome mirror looking right at you or looking down on you from above, right? It would reflect the land immediately below it, which is Hyperborea or the Garden of Eden, which has 4 rivers. It's crossed by 4 rivers, which could account for 4 of these, right? And then the other ones are just beams of light that come out. I don't know. But anyways, this is also the wheel in the sky, the wheel of Dharma, many wheel symbolism, the wheel of fate, the wheel of chance, etc., up there in the sky. And this is the depressurization point. This is the evil eye. This is the eye in the sky, the eye of Kronos, the mouth of Kronos, the head of Medusa, etc. So we go up from there, and it gets even weirder. We're like all the way at the top where we're supposed to meet up with Sam Ishmael. At the bottom here, we can see it looks like some sort of a golden serpent snake eel type thing curled around an upside down golden bowl. This is almost like a question mark as well. I can't make out what this is. I don't know. There's 3 what seem to be pills in the form of E, this is their logo, which is this is their logo for this website, which is S-Mail Core. So this is their logo right there, right above. I don't know what this is. The land is all golden. This could be a reference to like a golden age, possibly. We've got all these people wearing hoods and cloaks. Looks like they're having some sort of ceremony or something. Looks like there's statues off to the sides here. I'm not sure what this person's doing. This person looks like they're sort of doing some chi type, you know, some Tai Chi type moves or something. Holding like a magic ball. And then if you go up from here, there is these 2 cherubim. These are a type of cherubim or covering angels, the witnesses, the 2 witnesses on either side. And then there's some sort of a sacrifice happening on top of what looks to be the Mayan calendar. Okay, they did have a Mayan calendar as well on here. And there's somebody in white here. There's some sort of a ritual sacrifice type thing happening. I'm not sure. It gets a little grainy. There's these weird totems that look like they're maybe Aztec on the sides. And the lightning is coming down from these volcanoes above. Upside down volcanoes that shoot electricity. Interesting. So this is the world underneath us right now, basically. That's the world of volcanoes, the world of towering blue beams and pillars and columns and a red sky spectrum and stuff like that. That's all experiencing. They're going through that right now underneath us. They're also going. They've already gone. They're going to go through. If we go through the apocalypse by fire, which I believe we will coming up, that means they underneath us are going to go through their apocalypse of water, which is yikes. I'm telling you, like, that's not the apocalypse you want to be going through, is the deluge. That's a scary apocalypse. The one by fire, also scary, you know, but it's way quicker and it's way easier to survive that one. Now, if you click on this little sacrificial chick, she says some stuff. She says, well, sorry to say you just missed Sam. So did I. Unfortunately, now I have to offer my soul to these black magicians in order to schedule another appointment. It's fine, though. I was a big fan of Homecoming, so it's worth it. Maybe I'll get to meet Julia. Anyway, I heard Sam might be on 1 floor up. That's where the action really starts. So they're encouraging you to go 1 more floor up. So if we go Oh, and you can see the little, they got that same, oh, no, they got something different here, actually. I don't believe I could click on that TV, though. Let's check this out. Hold on. So, we've got these cult member people. You do see a rise in cults these days, do you not? I do. All right, we've got like this Aztec-looking thing, and there's some dude sitting on top of it. And it looks like skeletons at the base of it, and there's blood on it. I don't know what that is. Now, this is interesting. They've got the, what was the name of that group? This is that weird-looking dude that was the cult leader. And then they were waiting for the comment. You guys know what I'm talking about? I forgot the name of that. But there was some sort of comet cult. What the hell was the name of it? They wore Nikes. Remember? Everything is a cult. I know, right? I'm just jumping in the chat. I'm totally going to jump into the chat. It's hard to multitask, but I'll jump in the chat here in a second. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, right? There was a comet on the way, which, by the way, I'm sure there's going to be another one, and you're going to see spectacular comets, weird, colorful comets, comets with more than one tail, and comets that are going to stay in the sky a lot longer, too. And be way huge. But this guy right here, this cult leader, this is very interesting, right? Why would you have this on your website? I clicked on it, and he says, the scariest part of it all, just the pointlessness. I don't know. I don't feel like it's pointless. Maybe that's a conclusion they came to. Interesting stuff. All right, now, is that the last one? No, there's some more. So we can go sideways. This is what I'm doing now. So we go sideways and we can see that there's some sort of Aztec priest or something on top of this one. There's the blood sacrifice, right? There is this sphinx that looks like it has a goat head. And there's a world above too. I clicked on the sphinx and there's our last cipher. IXLUAZTNNW. Now I can tell you from breaking codes in my past, you want to look for stuff like this double N. These represent letters, right? Obviously, that's what they represent, like other letters, clearly, right? So 2 N's most likely is going to be like 2 vowels in a row ending on a consonant, if that helps you out. If you want to help me to break this down or whatever. So, for example, these 2 N's could be like 2 O's, you know? So this could be like the word stoop or something like that. Now, once you start figuring out stuff like that, and then obviously it's a 2-letter word. You know, it's kind of like playing Wheel of Fortune. Anyways, let's get out of here. Boom. Now, we've got this one. It looks like a gigantic Titanic statue out there in space. I'm guessing that this is either Socrates or Plato, just by looking at it. I can't really tell. But it's weird because it almost looks like there's another face sticking out of the side of his face right here. I've never noticed that before. I wonder if that's purposeful? Interesting. A little face, a little head being born out of his own head. Which would make that Jupiter, now that I think about it. And that would be Venus, right? Interesting. All right, cool. So we've got a lizard down here, a gigantic lizard, and a peacock. What do you think? What do you think, right? I mean, like, money and time was invested into this by some random movie company. This isn't barely even promoting any of their work and stuff. They don't promote this. It's not like they come out and say, hey, for some crazy fun, you know, treasure map game, go to our website and have fun figuring out, you know, making sense of random gibberish stuff or whatever. No. This was waiting for particular people to find it. There are no limits to what we plan to build in the future, says the peacock. Peacock, oftentimes a symbol of pride, right? Being prideful about your beauty or whatever. Let's see if there's anything else in here. We've got, oh yes, this looks like that fish. I can't tell if it's that fish we saw in that video that's being sacrificed or something. Back to that sacrifice. We got the cult members all wearing black over here. There's something happening right there. I don't know. And this Mayan calendar ritual thing. All right, so then that takes us all the way back up to the first floor, which is where we got on, right? And it's the same thing with this. You could just keep on scrolling infinitely, and it shows you an example of the fractal verse. Calyx! Hey, what's up, Calyx? I've been seeing you in the chat more often. I like your little Pikachu picture. Now, are you a Pikachu with the black tail? With the black stripe on the tail? Or no black stripe, I'm wondering. Probably, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, all right, so let me, I'm going to stop screen sharing. That was the mobile version. As you can see, there's a lot. And I'm sure there's stuff I missed that I have not covered or whatever. So let's go ahead and I'm going to jump into the chat. I might as well just leave this one up here to talk about the website, the movie. I haven't been able to keep up with you guys. I would like to give a big welcome to Calix, who became the latest member of the Good Vibe Tribe here on my channel. Thank you. So I just want to say thanks to everyone for supporting my work. Lots of people have been sharing my videos and stuff lately, and we're creeping up to 100,000, which is pretty cool. I'm honored. Raven Fox is in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, maybe they need our energy or awareness of the apocalypse. Possibly, it could be. I also see a lot of like looking at humans like as if they're animals, basically. You know what I mean? I get a lot of that from this too. The Kali tongue, yes. Susan mentions the Kali tongue. Kali is a big part of the symbolism, especially when it comes to the apocalypse. Let's see. Obama just read to school children. Yes, I heard about that. I saw that. Thank you, Cake Town. Susan Donahue says V and V together, which is a W, right, equals 66. Yes, just like VW, Volkswagen. Sam equals 33 says Spirit Miracle. SAM are the 3 mother letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Interesting. All right, let me scroll up and see if we have any comments. Do you guys have any comments about the movie Leave the World Behind, or that enigmatic and mysterious website that I just shared with you? Yeah. Is there anything that you want me to cover or look at too while I have all my screens pulled up? Let me know. All right, I'm jumping into the chat to talk about the movie, to talk about the symbolism, to answer questions about the apocalypse, or to just talk about this strange website that we just went over. I'm going to go ahead and look for my name highlighted in the chat if you type in JayDreamerZ. Oh, that's right, Jen Cardno. That makes a good point. Peacock is one of the 4 transitions of alchemy, if I remember correctly. Welcome again to Calix. All right, I'm looking for the most recent comments right now. I'll put your comment up on the screen. We got Pixel T. I clicked on the wrong one. Hold on. Oh, Calix actually just donated a membership. That's what that was. Well, that was great. How kind. So somebody actually was just donated a channel membership. I have many videos that are for members only, okay? There a lot of my older ones, I just archive them, and the members can binge. A lot of people are binging out on, you know, a lot of my different playlists and stuff like that. Truth in Movies has become very popular lately, and it's one of my favorite ones to do. All right. Welcome, Calix, and thank you so much. We got Nomenclature who says, JayDreamerZ, I just bought your book. I can't wait to get it. Oh, that's exciting, too. I'm honored. I'm working on the next one right now. Hopefully, I'll be done by the beginning of the year. That's what I'm shooting for, but don't quote me. Stacy Gehrig says, JayDreamerZ, just tuning in now. Did you find floor 5 on the website by turning the bottom key twice? No. I was wondering. Thank you so much, Stacy. Man, oh, but I will say this too. If you're on your phone, I only showed the up and down, but you can actually turn the phone sideways and it'll show you the whole hallway and the elevator. And there's signs that say like, you know, all employees must wear a mask. And like, there's some weird stuff. If you turn the phone sideways, the scenery doesn't change. The elevator will change if you scroll sideways, but you can see like what's off to the sides of the elevator if you just turn the phone into landscape mode. All right, jumping back into the chat. No soup for you, says. Oh, there's no picture. That's too bad. I see the. Hold on, let me put it back up. Ah, that's too bad. That's classic. All right, no soup for you, says JayDreamerZ. What is the 3 days of darkness, and what happens during those 3 days? That's a good question. So, I believe there are 3 days of darkness. It doesn't have to be exactly 3. Okay, it doesn't have to be all perfect, but the sun is going to disappear. The focal point that is up there in the sky, revolving around the surface of our world, just above it, is going to disappear one of these days, right? This is why the ancients watched the sun and its path, and they tracked it, and they built mechanisms, especially in rock, so that they could look up and align it at certain times of the year. Those times are the solstices, where the sun is supposed to stop. That's why it's called solstice, right? They watched. If it continued, during the winter solstice, either going further south, right, it would disappear. And we would have the 3 days of darkness. The sun would go out because that focal point, it wouldn't be able, it would basically like the sun would just crash into Antarctica and disappear. I don't know how else to describe that. That sounds weird if you don't have the similar cosmology as myself. But anyways, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum, they would watch the sun during the summer solstice. And they would watch and see if it transgressed its Capricorn, or the tropics, basically, the boundary of the tropics that are set for it, if it continued to go north. And if it did, then they knew that the apocalypse was this year. That's how you can tell when the apocalypse is coming. You need to keep your eyes on the sun during the solstices to see if it keeps on going, to see if it comes back. If it doesn't come back in 3 days, better get ready. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? So anyways, the sun will go dark. The sun will disappear. The world across. There will be no sunlight anywhere. You can survive without sunlight, just so you know, but it's not a fun time. Okay, so 3 days, there will be darkness. Now, it won't be completely dark. I am getting prepared for that darkness. Many of you can too. I will be adding a portion to my website, which is going to be, I have the Dream Shop on my website right now. Right now, you can just buy merch. You know what I mean? And I figured that's okay if you're like a big JayDreamerZ fan or whatever, and you want to get a JayDreamerZ coffee mug or a hoodie or a hat or stuff like that, you can. Or if you want to buy my book. But I'm going to start actually adding other things on there that are geared more towards survival, and specifically surviving, you know, tools to help you out or to aid in your survival as you attempt to survive the plasma apocalypse. So I will be selling that kind of stuff on my website, on the Dream Shop. Look out for that in the next few days. All right, what else we got in the chat? I'm scrolling through and I see JPA 1988 who says elevators usually skip the 13th floor. Well, here in America they do. Because of, you know, people are like, oh, 13 is evil or whatever. Let's see, we got Prone to Wonder who says, have you read the Adam and Eve story by Chan Thomas? If I have, and a few times. If you take a look at my Plasma Apocalypse playlist, one of the first videos you'll find is actually my breakdown of that manuscript and my comments on it. Yanis Petropoulos says, hey Jay, that was the statue of Plato located here in Athens in front of the Academy. Thank you. Interesting. Plato. Plato meaning flat, meaning a plate. Plato. Interesting. All right, let's see what else we got here in the chat. Yeah, I've noticed that you keep on saying you haven't seen the moon, Cake Town. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say about that. Like, I will check tonight, actually. I'll see if I can see the moon. But yeah, that's interesting. When everyone starts saying that they can't see the moon, then I'll be more concerned. Let's see. We can survive, but plants don't. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you. Dupsy Daisy says, JayDreamerZ, when the little girl Rose found the bunker and went inside of it, so she's talking about the movie, when she turned on the computer, the date was April. Okay. Interesting. What do you make of that? That's interesting. So it was April. That's interesting. I don't know what to say about that. Mr. E says, JayDreamerZ, thank you, bro, for everything. You're super welcome. Joseph, thank you for the donation. $10 from Joseph, who says, you've mentioned throughout this presentation and others about a decision that God has to make. Ah, yes. Is the decision whether or not to continue existence? I will tell you off the top, honestly, I have no idea what that decision is. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't think it's the decision to wipe out all of existence. Here's where I will talk about that. I will say, it seems logical to me that the time will come, if you look at things in a linear fashion, when everything will just disappear. If we lived inside of the mind of a greater being, or if it's all a simulation. Either way, it seems like there will come a time when it will all go away. Oh, my head itches right now. Sorry. It's from wearing this beanie. It's cold here. It's totally snowing. But yeah, there seems to me that there's a time when everything just disappears. Now, when will that be? I believe that it's whenever everyone comes together, when there's no more separation, when people realize and accept unity as opposed to the illusion of separation and division and me versus you and stuff like that. So that's getting pretty deep onto it. Thank you so much for your support. I super appreciate it. All right, jumping back into the chat here to see what people's comments on the movie or the website that we just went over are. JayDreamerZ, turn the elevator key to open level 5. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna check it out right now. I gotta check this out. Hold on. I don't want to take up too much time. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. On my phone here. What was it called? Do I have it already? I do. Okay, cool. So, I got the elevator. All right, I clicked on the buttons. I guess, okay, I clicked on the key and it made it big. I'm going to click on it again. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Hold on. All right, it made it big. I click on the button at the bottom, the key button, and it zooms in. So now I got this, right? It looks like just the key or whatever. How do you turn this bad boy? Oh, you just turn it. Check that out. Hold up. Oh, I turned it. What's going on? Oh, a secret level? You guys just took me to a secret level. Hold on. Fan Art Vault, a collection of artwork created by fans, and it's got like a hooded dude. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. All right. Very interesting. All right. I love this. Thank you all for showing me that. I'm going to check that out later. See, that's what I'm talking about. Weird secret stuff. That's so cool. I love that we put our heads together. I really do. Yes. Anyways, let me jump back in the chat here. Yes. Winter solstice, summer solstice. Plato is speaking about Atlantis. Yes. Very good. Let's see. I will keep my eyes out for the moon tonight. So I'm specifically going to do that tonight. I'm going to see if I could see the moon. I'm pretty sure I have, but in hindsight, can't really remember. Let's see. World Behind the Sun. Interesting. What else we got here? Let's see. The chat is skipping a bit, so I'm trying to get caught up. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. That might be it. Let me just see. Yes, looks like that's about it. Okay, cool. All right, another huge thank you to Babsha Knows and everyone else who left a super chat comment. A huge shout out and thank you to everyone. There's a handful of people that have, been writing me like actual mail to my P.O. box. People have been sending gifts and donations and letters that are very inspirational and have just lifted my freaking heart. So I can't even tell you, I can't even express my gratitude. It is completely an honor for me to have so many people that are listening to my insight and, find my channel entertaining, or me, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a combination of things. It's an honor for me to have so many subscribers. We're headed towards 100,000. If you would like to share my stuff and, get us there quicker, I will tell you, like I have been for 6 months now, that I have a surprise for all of you. Something I have created for all of you. Once we get 100,000, I'm not sharing it until we get there though. So that'll be a fun surprise. Yes, and I made this too. Like this is that book, The Secret, and you make something. This is my YouTube button. That's all ghetto. It's like plastic. Like this came with some. This is like a phone case or something, but I turned it into like a YouTube. That's why it's got a circle there. That's just a part of the foam. And I just wrote on it. Anyways, it's an honor. And I love hanging out with so many people. I love meeting you all. I love the P.O. box. Does anybody have my P.O. box that you can post in the chat for Cake Town? I keep forgetting to repost my P.O. box. And because people are using it, it does expire at the end of this month. So I think I'm going to go get another 3-month extension or something. That way, if you guys want to write to me, send me anything. I've got all kinds of cool stuff that people send to me in my room. Like I decorate my room with the stuff you guys send. You can't see it because, I don't feel the need to brag about it or anything, but I do have it here. But anyways, if you want to ever send me, write me a letter or send me something or whatever in the mail, you can. It's at the P.O. Box. I'm sure somebody will post that in the chat. I believe it's... Oh, you know what? It's on my community post. So I posted a letter. I can't show you this letter that I have in front of me because it's got someone's address on it. But I posted my address on my community section recently because I had somebody, send me something awesome that I wanted to brag about and say thank you. So you can see that. What else? My website. I'm working on the website right now. I'm currently working on the Fractalverse page, which is it's fun. It's very fun. So the Fractalverse page is the next page to come out on my website. I'd finished up the arcade. I'm going to be touching base with Tommy Truthful and some other people. And I'm going to start doing some live streams on my website to try to get some people over to my website so I can, I can have any guest I want to. I don't have to worry about, any trigger words that people say, or I can be blunt if I want to. I can talk about things or whatever, right? And that's the arcade on my website. It's designed to be a very fun place. So there's going to be a lot of interactive stuff. There's video games you can play while you listen to my videos and live streams. And there's a gallery of like our AI art and stuff like that, all kinds of stuff. I have not seen Mr. Robot. I don't have time to watch a whole brand new series of stuff, but it does come up in my studies. And I think I'm going to go. I've had a great time hanging out. Thank you all so much for sharing my stuff. Thank you all so much for the likes and the support and all the things that people do. It is an honor. And this is one of the most important subjects to me that I've ever come across in my entire life. And I have a lot of information to share about it. I'm writing my second book right now, finishing that up. That's packed full of information. And if I can do it the right way, it's going to be pictures on every page. My first book did not have any pictures. That's my only thing I did not like about it. All right, cool. I had a great time. Please leave me lots of comments, lots of love, and I'll see you guys soon again. Until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.
Who